Welcome to Serre Chevalier. We're heading into the second half of the e-Andros season, and it's the usual gorgeous weather here in the southern French Alps. Proper snow on the ski pistes and proper ice on the Andros piste as well. It's all looking well set up for a great weekend of racing on one of the most demanding venues of the season. Let's take a look at this track. Our guide is Norwegian Andros Trophy.
Hey guys, I'm Andros Trophy, normally a world rallycross driver, here driving in Andros in Serre Chevalier. Getting into turn 1, very tricky braking where you go from like a left-right, medium-long hairpin. It's important to have a good acceleration in this exit because this is the longest straight of the track with the most speed. Here you flick it into what you call parabolica. Look through the left window and try to make the car straight for a shorter straight going into turn 3. Here also turning left before right. Once again a medium long hairpin corner where the exit is the most important. You're getting into the chicane area where it's turn 4 and 5 into the tricky and very hard hairpin left, which is also the last corner. Very crucial corner to get the car straight so you can go straight over the start-finish line.
Start our action in the elite class. Day 1, it's the super final with the red car of Jérémy Sahi on pole. Louis Gervasson will start alongside him. And on row 2, we'll find Eddie Benezet and Louis Rousset. Rousset, the winner last time out when we were in Isola 2000 last weekend. Row 3 of the super final, the top 6 who go through, Gérard Fontenelle and Emmanuel Moinel. The names that are missing are Sylvain Poussier and Stéphane Ventire. They're the top 2 in the points, and they both missed out on making it into the main final, and that presents their rivals, especially Jérémy Sahi, a golden opportunity to close the ground. Sahi third, equal on points with Ventire, and only 6 behind Poussier as we get ready to race. Jérémy Sahi, the pole man, must make a good getaway here. With the guys that he is battling for this championship title and 5 races remaining in the season, this is a great chance for him to really take an advantage. So his red car with the starting advantage. And away they go. Good start for Jérémy Sahi. Great start for Louis Gervasson though. The Audi driver leaps into the lead. Sahi in second place. Eddie Benezet in third. Green-white car is Louis Rousset. There's contact there though. And Eddie Benezet has come to a halt. Maybe that's why there was contact. Through goes Louis Rousset. And Benezet at the side of the track. And Louis Rousset, damage on the right front corner. He's not going to go much further either. Looks like he's lost a wheel. That's incredible. Louis Gervasson, the leader then from Jérémy Sahi. Louis Rousset grinding to a halt there. And Gervasson, who's not competing in the entire season, ahead of Sahi. Sahi won't take too many risks here. He needs to finish. Second is definitely better than finishing in the ice bank. Around the hairpin they come. And these two way clear. Louis Gervasson very quick, fastest throughout qualifying. Won the first qualifying heat, so clearly he means business. Jérémy Sahi in second position, just content to bide his time here and see what happens as they go past the stranded car of Eddie Benezet. Third and fourth, Gérard Fontenelle and Emmanuel Moinel. Cold, crisp conditions midway through the race here. And Louis Gervasson comfortably ahead of Jérémy Sahi. And part of the problem for Sahi and for everybody following another rival is the showers of ice crystals. It's like driving in fog. And it's fairly misty as well. And Louis Gervasson with a clear view of the track. Absolutely flying. He's really in imperious form here, romping away. Jérémy Sahi content to follow him 4 seconds back. Gérard Fontenelle in third, 9 seconds behind the leader. Emmanuel Moinel A further 6 seconds adrift. Those are the gaps. And Gavesson just charging away. Jeremy Sahi there in second place will get just as many points if he's almost a lap behind as if he's a fraction of a second behind. Well, for Louis Gavesson, this is mighty impressive stuff. He's used to last year's cars with the petrol engines, so this is his first ever race with a four-wheel drive, four-wheel steer electric car. He'd only driven the small two-wheel drive electric car before that has around half the power and not much of the traction. Big lead for Louis Gavesson. This car usually driven by Philippe Bonsard, but he had domestic issues, handed the drive to Louis this weekend. And Gavesson has responded superbly, like he's never been away. Louis Gavesson charging towards the final lap. Jeremy Sahi comfortably 4.5 seconds behind, but making no mistakes. Jeremy Sahi thinking of the points. Louis Gavesson, though, returning to Trophy Andros. This is a real impressive performance. He's dialed himself into these cars absolutely superbly. The lack of engine noise revving away and the very different feel of the four-wheel drive, four-wheel steer cars has definitely not seen him all at sea. On the last lap, 6.5 seconds ahead of Jeremy Sahi. Gerard Fontenelle is in third place, 11 seconds back. And that means that Manuel Moinel is about a third of a lap behind. Really impressive this from Louis Gavesson. We saw how much the four-time champion JB Dubourg struggled to really dial himself into these electric cars since the beginning of the season. It's only really last week in Isla 2000 he started to come on with the sort of pace that he was used to generating. So for Louis Gavesson to be dropped in and to dominate the elite class super final on day one like this, fantastic stuff. So the checker flag is out. It is victory for Louis Gavesson. And that was almost never in doubt from the moment he started so superbly. Jeremy Sahi in second place. And that means the podium will be completed by Gerard Fontenelle. Louis Gavesson delighted with that, and rightly so he should be. There's Eddie Benazet offering his applause. He's not going to be able to get back in there because the big battery packs are in where the passenger seat would be, but offers his congratulations. And Jeremy Sahi right behind. Very short race for Eddie Benazet and Louis Rousset, both out after the first couple of corners. But superb performance from our day's winner. Jeremy Sahi now leads the overall standings after day one from Sylvain Poussier and Stéphane Vontaille. For Poussier and Vontaille, the gaps are not insurmountable, so it looks as though we have a three-way title race on our hands. If Jeremy Sahi has another good day here, though, in Serre Chevalier, he might start to put some clear air between himself and his closest title rivals. Day one podium in Serre Chevalier. Jeremy Sahi, the day's winner. Louis Gavesson second in the points on the day, and Eddie Benazet in third. Super pole time for day one here in Serre Chevalier, and here are the six that go through. Jean-Baptiste Bourd, Andros Backerud, Nat Berton, Olivier Panis, Jan Erlaché, and our series leader Aurélien Panis. So the father and son both go through. The top six drivers from the qualifying heats on the times they set go into Super Pole. And at this stage of the season, this is starting to gain even more importance. Not only does it set your positions for the grid, but there are 6 points for the fastest driver down to 1 for the sixth place driver in Super Pole. And we know how tight Trophy Andros is likely to be in terms of the overall points battle right at the very end. First out on track is the four-time reigning champion Jean-Baptiste Bourd. Second overall in the points coming in here, 17 adrift of Aurélien Panis, and he's already clawed 4 points back over Aurélien in the qualifying heats. Jan Erlaché in the second heat, though, set a time of 2 minutes 34.2 for the 3 laps, faster than reigning champion Dubourg by 2 seconds. So Erlaché may well be in the hunt for Super Pole here. Dubourg, though, looking as smooth and fluent as ever behind the wheel of his all-electric four-wheel drive, four-wheel steer Renault Zoe. And JB Dubourg through the chicane, heading down to the flick around the hairpin. You need to be as tight as possible to the inside wall, but critically have the wheel straight coming off there as you charge the line. Checkered flag is out, and across the line he comes, and it's a good one. That's a 51.721 second run. How that will stand up remains to be seen, but as of now, that looks like it might be pretty tough to beat. Tricolor waves for Olivier Panis, fourth car on the ice here in the Superpole. And Olivier Panis, last Frenchman to win a Formula One Grand Prix and still as competitive as ever. Season going pretty well for him. He's had some good races. Unfortunately got involved in a couple of incidents which have slightly blunted his attack. But in this single qualifying lap format, he might be the man to challenge Jean-Baptiste Bourg. 20 kilos of success ballast from finishing third overall last weekend in Isla 2000. So far, JB de Bourg is the leader. Andreas Backerud second, Nat Berton third. And 13 hundredths behind on the split. Olivier Panis, is he going to be close at the line? How close will he be? Checkered flag flies and through he comes. 29 hundredths in front. That's a fantastic lap from Olivier Panis. Clatters the wall afterwards, that left rear wheel. The suspension is going to need a little bit of looking at by the crew. But Olivier Panis, fastest of all. Provisional pole for Olivier Panis by over a quarter of a second. No wonder he's punching the air with delight. That must have felt like a good lap. Yann Erlacher rushing towards the flag. Clock is running for the young Alsatian. Like rival Aurélien Panis and like his uncle Ivan Muller, who runs the Ivan Muller racing team with these two cars. He is a touring car driver during the summer and an ice racer in the winter. Winner of the qualifying heats with the fastest lap of anybody, 51.3. He's going to have to go quicker than that to take the Superpole here, a 10th back. Well, that again is achievable. We saw Olivier Panis go from very nearly 1400s back to 2900s in front, but he's got to beat Olivier Panis. Well, Erlacher fighting for every inch of ice here, really trying to fire across the line, but behind by a substantial margin, 4/10 back nearly. So maximum points will go to Olivier Panis. Aurélien Panis will end up in fifth ahead of Nat Berton. Here is our grid then for our super final, day one in the Elite Pro class, and Yann Erlacher on pole position from Jean-Baptiste Dubourg in the Renault, Olivier Panis on row 2 with Andres Backerud, and on row 3 of the grid, Aurélien Panis, the series leader before this weekend, and Nathaniel Berton in his Peugeot. So Yann Erlacher, the first poleman of the day to start on the driver's left, on the right-hand side of the track. His team boss and uncle, 10-time Trophy Andros champion Ivan Muller, spent a long time on the track trying to figure out which side would be best to start from. And they have decided that Yann, who has the choice, is going to start on the driver's left. Now, as you can see, the driver's right-hand side, our left, looks like it's got a straighter run to the first corner, but Erlacher immediately covers off to block from Jean-Baptiste Dubourg into the hairpin, and he's got his nose in front. Olivier Panis in third place, Andres Backerud in fourth. So positions remain as they were off the grid, and the advantage there quite clear for Yann Erlacher. He's throwing up showers of ice clouds right into the windscreen of Jean-Baptiste Dubourg. And as we heard Andreas Backerud saying, when you're using the car around all these hairpins, you need those wipers on the side windows as well. You are not looking out the front windscreen very much on this lap. There's the top three. Jean-Baptiste Dubourg second with the turquoise nose. The green and white car, that is Olivier Panis in third. Already has one headlight out, and he's trailing a bit of back body work as well. Yann Erlacher with the lead in the dark blue Duplessis car. Fourth place, Andreas Backerud. Aurélien Panis in fifth position ahead of Nat Berton, but Yann Erlacher with a 2-second advantage, then 1.4 back to Olivier Panis. Aurélien Panis in fourth place at the line, so he's got by Andreas Backerud. Backerud in fifth, And Berton in 6th position. That single headlight marks out Olivier Panis. The rest of them starting to disappear into the clouds of ice hanging in the air on this still alpine evening. And until he gets into those clouds behind the guys in 5th and 6th, Yann Erlacher definitely has the best view. Jean-Baptiste Bourg, well used to this though. Yes, they still need to see the track, but that's not everything. They've got the rhythm, and JB so used to this Trophy Andros campaign that he knows Serre Chevalier inside out. Could possibly drive it with his eyes closed, and this is the nearest thing. But for Yann Erlacher, clear air, a clear road. He was the fastest lap setter in qualifying as well, even though he wasn't fastest in Superpole. So what he's clearly got is long run pace, and Erlacher showing that now. 5.2 ahead of Jean-Baptiste Bourg. Olivier Panis in 3rd is closing the gap. It's under 2 seconds. Aurélien Panis in 4th position, further 5.6 seconds behind. Yann Erlacher romping away with this. Just fantastic driving from him. End of lap 4 of 6. And as he comes across the line, it is a new fastest lap of the weekend for Yann Erlacher. Fantastic stuff, and that's a vital extra point as well. Erlacher definitely not out of the title hunt. There's his uncle, Ivan. A man who does not even know how to spell give up. Erlacher, Dubois, and Olivier Panis. Aurélien, is he going to catch his dad? No, he's not at this rate. 5 seconds behind still. And this is lap 5 of 6. And Yann Erlacher looking absolutely untouchable here. This is quite worrying for his rivals heading towards day 2. If he does this again, then he will be right in the title hunt. Victories are great, and this is another victory heading the way of Yann Erlacher, but the points are what it's all about. On to the last lap here in Serre Chevalier. Sweeping round the long first corner. And this track, so much about the flow, about the rhythm, and Erlacher clearly has got that. Down the long front straight. Sweeping around the hairpin, JB Dubourg 10.1 seconds back, 10 seconds back at the line. Olivier Panis 13.2, Aurélien closing 14.2, so he's closed a second on his dad, but he needs another 5 or 6 laps to get to him and then try and get past the old man, and that ain't happening. Through the chicane, up to the hairpin for the final time, Yann Erlacher. A well-planned strategy on the grid from Yann Erlacher and Ivan Muller, and the Ivan Muller racing driver will claim victory. There's Uncle Ivan. Sure his mum Kathy is somewhere watching as well. Fantastic result. Look at Ivan. See how much snow and ice is being thrown up. They're all covered in it, like a bunch of snowmen watching on the pit wall. Second place for JB Dubourg, the DA Racing driver, Renault Zoe, and third for Olivier Panis. But a resounding win for Yann Erlacher. Second double winner of the season. Aurélien Panis also with 2 wins. Christophe Ferrier and JB Dubourg have 1 apiece. And Erlacher, last year he suggested that he might be quite handy for the championship. This year he is closing in. JB Dubourg now only 8 points behind Aurélien Panis from 15 at the start of the day. Yann Erlacher 26 points behind, but with momentum behind him. There is Yann Erlacher on the top of our day 1 podium. Closest to us on the right, Olivier Panis in 3rd, and JB Dubourg in 2nd on the left-hand side there. Big day for Yann Erlacher, reigniting his championship chances here in Serre Chevalier. Late in the evening, a lot more snow to add to the alpine glory of Serre Chevalier. Perfect racing conditions, day 2 in Serre Chevalier for the e-Trophy Andros. We start our action with the MV Cup Super Final. with our poleman, the points leader Sylvain Dabert, 37 on the left-hand side with a yellow vest. Then with the red machine, Germain Vincenot, reigning champion Maxime Emery, number 1, easy to pick out because of his white legs, and Vivian Gonnet also on the front row of the grid. Away we go, and too much wheel spin for the poleman Sylvain Dabert. Germain Vincenot hits the front with the red machine. He makes the best of starts. So Germain Vincenot and Maxime Emery, the reigning champion, number 1 machine, right with him. Vivian Gonnet on the inside. Gonnet with a tight line, number 4. Underneath Maxime Emery, Sylvain Dabert, high, wide and handsome around the outside. Trying not to lose ground, trouble behind. And it's a 4-way battle for lead from our front runners. Maxime Emery, number 1, with the number 14 machine of Germain Vincenot behind. Sylvain Dabert battling for 3rd. Dabert with Vivian Gonnet, number 4 at the hairpin, and Dabert on the inside. And Gonnet getting eased out there, but he comes flying back, and there's contact with the rear wheel of Sylvain Dabert. Dabert goes down. The points leader, the man who's won every super final, will have to, like when you're on a jet ski, plug in the little key to fire up the machine, and the rest of the field are gone. Maxime Emery leads there on the left-hand side. Sylvain Dabert almost stone last. He's recovered very quickly to get back on the machine and get riding, but it is Maxime Emery who leads. And Germain Vincenot is in second. There he is with the red machine. Julien Colombon, that is, number 17. He's in 3rd place. And from row 2 of the grid, like Colombon, Maxime Lacour, number 19. He's in 4th. That is a massive blow for our points leader, Sylvain Dabert. He has won every super final so far this season. Hasn't led them all from start to finish, although predominantly that is the case with Dabert this year. And he is a long way back. So Maxime Emery, Germain Vincenot in 2nd, and Julien Colombon still in 3rd. Maxime Lacour in 4th place. Marc Germain is 5th. And Vivian Gonnet, who was battling for the lead early on, battling with him now. But there is the 2nd place machine of Germain Vincenot, the red bike. Our reigning champion out front, Maxime Emery. And this might be a chance for him to really kickstart his season again. He's not far away from the leader in the points, but a big day would definitely help. Not too often if you drop behind in Trophy Andros racing and in the AMV Cup that you actually get a big advantage to try and claw back that lost ground on your rival. So Maxime Emery, the race leader, having to really concentrate here on working hard to stay in front. Germain Vincenot in 2nd, Julien Colombon right with him. And then Maxime Lacour. And here we go. This is the battle for 5th position. Vivian Gonnet struggling to recover. There's number 14. He's got by Marc Germain. So Vivian Gonnet back up to 5th position. And still that battle for 2nd place. Germain Vincenot 14, Julien Colombon 17. Sylvain Dabert trying to fight his way back through the field. Back marker pulling out of the way there is Maxime Emery's sister Hélène, who is making her first start as an ice racing motorcyclist. So kudos to her. She clearly saw over her shoulder that the leaders were coming. She may have recognised her brother, she may not. Julien Colombon struggling for traction off that last hairpin, wasn't he? Maxime Emery, though, is the race leader, and comfortably so at the moment. He's got 2 or 3 machine lengths, but blue flags being waved by the marshals as the leaders catch the back markers. Maxime Emery is being caught by Germain Vincenot and number 17 Julien Colombon, so this may not be as easy as Maxime Emery had hoped. 1, 2, 3 all together now. We're halfway through and around the outside. Better traction again for Julien Colombon, and rides around the outside of Germain Vincenot. Vincenot down to 3rd place. Could Julien Colombon win this? Oh, loses the front there. Just flips over the edge of a rut just when he thought he had the grip. Bounced out of the rut and he almost went down. And this is a perennial problem. The ruts that the cars dig don't really affect the cars, but they do really affect the motorcycles. Maxime Emery still leading, closing in on more back markers. And still in the battle, this three-way tussle. Julien Colombon second, the Red Machine in third position. Julien Colombon chasing hard. Germain Vincenot now looking like he's a little bit out of this. Maxime Emery carving his way through the back markers. There's number 17, Julien Colombon. He looks like the quickest of the three. And Germain Vincenot trying to clear his way through the back markers, easing one of them just over up to the wall there. And Maxime Emery and Julien Colombon. This could be the lead battle for the rest of the race. On lap 7 of 10, has Colombon got enough speed and enough time? Can he find enough traction? He's trying all sorts of different lines. And Colombon alongside Maxime Emery. Emery gets the power down, gets his nose back in front, through the chicane, up to the hairpin. Colombon again going a long way around the outside, covering more meters of ice, but trying to keep up that momentum, trying to keep the bike up in its rev range. On these big four strokes, I don't mind plugging out. Oh, through they go past Hélène Emery again. And Julien Colombon all over the back of the race leader. Maxime Emery out wide. Julien Colombon with a tighter line, finds the grip and through he goes. How's that going to work on the exit? Oh, Maxime Emery trying to come back at him. But Julien Colombon, for the moment at least, has the lead. Well, he got ahead of Germain Vincenot, and then he closed down Maxime Emery, and he spent a couple of laps right on Emery's tail, trying to work out where he could get by. Yellow flags wave at the hairpin, somebody's slowing in front. I think they pulled off, there they are, back marker. He's got a bit of an issue, looks like he's been in the wall. Julien Colombon leads from Maxime Emery, Germain Vincenot in third, Maxime Lacour in fourth position, looking to take third away from Vincenot. Maxime Emery seems to be hanging on to Julien Colombon, only 0.6 of a second behind, but that gap is growing, isn't it? Sylvain Dabert up to 9th place now, after rejoining from the tail of the field. But this race looks as though it's going the way of Julien Colombon. Maxime Emery trying to stay with him, but not being able to. Battle for third starting to grow. Maxime Lacour there on with all the green. The green machine right behind Germain Vincenot. There is Sylvain Dabert trying to carve his way through. We saw him there, number 37 with the yellow vest. And meanwhile, in the battle for the podium, Germain Vincenot, number 14, trying to cling on ahead of Maxime Lacour. Julien Colombon leads from Maxime Emery. Last lap of the race. Hélène Emery staying out of the way. Brother goes by in second place. Last time he lapped her, he was the race leader, but Julien Colombon has got this one in his pocket. As long as he doesn't get caught out by a rut somewhere, Maxime Emery is not going to catch him. Colombon floating across the top of all this rutted ice. So difficult for these motorcycle riders. It's like motocross, enduro and everything else put together. Victory though for Julien Colombon, and he sets a new lap record on his way to victory. Maxime Emery in second place, and Maxime Lacour got by Germain Vincenot at the line. So Maxime Lacour on the podium for the first time this season. And there is number 37, that is Sylvain Dabert. Where is he? After his fall, is he going to be 7th? And he is going to be 7th at the line. Vital championship points well earned there. Never give up, says Sylvain Dabert. And if he wins the title because of that recovery, then he will be a very happy man. Julien Colombon, equally happy today, our race winner from Maxime Emery. So confirmation, Sylvain Dabert still the championship leader. Vivian Gonnet 28 points behind. Maxime Emery now 33 points behind. And a big day for Julien Colombon, who's in 5th in the standings. Sylvain Dabert still with a 28-point advantage, but the day's podium, Maxi Memory with the maximum point score of everybody. Julien Colombot, the race winner, second. Germain Vincenot, third in the day's points. Day 2 super final in the elite class. The poleman, Eddie Benazet, jumping into the lead, and race 1 winner Louis Gervasson squeezes through into second place ahead of car number 1, that's Gérard Fontenelle. So Louis Gervasson again getting away very quickly, and after yesterday's performance in the dark, I'm sure Eddie Benazet, who made it not much further than here on day 1, will be very aware that Louis Gervasson's Audi could be the car that he has to fear most. Nathan Biel made a good start to get up into 4th place there. He is in the dark blue car ahead of Emmanuel Moinel. And Louis Gervasson, car number 3. The Audi piling the pressure immediately on race leader Eddie Benazet. Benazet flicks it around the hairpin, still with the lead. Visibility a little better in these daylight conditions than it was in the dark, but still lots of ice shards being thrown up, clouds of ice crystals. So it's Eddie Benazet from Louis Gervasson, Gérard Fontenelle in 3rd place, and not too far behind Nathan Biel in 4th spot. Benazet leading from Gervasson, and although he is in 6th position, Jeremy Sahi still scoring vital points. Title rivals Sylvain Poussier and Stéphane Vontaille, who fell behind him on day 1, again failing to reach the super final here, so Jeremy Sahi must keep going. Meanwhile, at the front, Eddie Benazet on lap 5 and still with the lead over race 1 winner Louis Gervasson. And it turns out that the reason he stopped and was run into from behind on day 1 was an electrical problem. His car stopped dead in the first corner. He got hit from behind, but that damage from the hit has been quickly repaired, and the electrical issues have been sorted out as well. Clearly, Eddie Benazet in a Renault out front. And Louis Gervasson's Audi is not going to make it 2 wins from 2 starts, but it is going to make it 2 podiums on the final lap unless Benazet makes a mistake. Gervasson's not going to get to him, but the gaps are very tight indeed. Eddie Benazet determined not to let this one escape him. Gervasson made a superb start yesterday to take the lead in the first corner, and the trouble for Eddie Benazet happened behind him. But Benazet now out of the hairpin, Louis Gervasson in 2nd place, but Eddie Benazet claims victory. Louis Gervasson in 2nd, Gérard Fontenelle in 3rd place. With Nathan Biel, Emmanuel Moinel and Jeremy Sahi. Sahi, vital points again as in day 1 ahead of his rivals. Jeremy Sahi now 12 points ahead of Sylvain Poussier, 21 ahead of Stéphane Vontaille. Emmanuel Moinel's only a couple of points behind Vontaille now. Louis Rousset also closing that gap. A perfect day for Eddie Benazet. Won the qualifying heats, won the race in the super final, and also set a new lap record. So big day in Serre Chevalier for Eddie Benazet. Benazet, as a result, the top step of the day's podium. Gérard Fontenelle, 2nd best scorer, and Louis Gervasson taking 3rd position. Well, a happy return for Louis Gervasson there on the right-hand side to the trophy Andros. Fantastic stuff. Serre Chevalier high in the French Alps, and it is time now for the Elite Pro Super Pole on day 2. Jean-Baptiste Dubourg, Nico Prost, Quentin Giordano, Andros Trophy, Olivier Panis and Jan Ehrlichet, the fastest 6 from the qualifying heats to go through. Note, no points leader Aurélien Panis. So he is the big loser, and that means there is a possibility that Jean-Baptiste Dubourg could claim the overall lead of the e-Trophy Andros here today. So the four-time champion, Jean-Baptiste Bourg, is carrying 40 kilos of ballast. And that, again, of course, will help to blunt his speed a little. Tricolor waves as he starts his fastest lap attack. And JB again, first man out on track. That worked pretty well for him yesterday. Took a long time before anybody was able to match his time. Let's see what he's got today. Visibility a little better for the audience as well as for the drivers. Fantastic conditions. This is crystal clear ice, crystal clear air, and beautiful sunshine. 25.7 intermediate. That is good. We're in the 51s yesterday, and this looks like it might be quicker again. Jean-Baptiste Bourg charges for the line. He and his electric Renault Zoe are really starting to gel. 50.750. Great view there through the cleanly swept side window of our Superpole pace setter. Nico Prost in his Renault Zoe. The two AD Racing Renaults are on form here this weekend. Now, whether it's a little bit of the nature of the car suits the nature of the track, perhaps better than anywhere we've been so far this season. Maybe the team and drivers have really got a handle on the setup. Don't forget, of the two, though Nico Prost has raced electrically powered vehicles, JB Dubourg has not, and there is definitely a conversion in there. 14 hundredths of a second behind. This is going to be very close if Nico Prost can keep his pace up. The son of multiple World Formula One champion Alain Prost, himself a very experienced sports car racer. This could be very close indeed. Where's it going to be? Nico Prost is going to be quicker, is he? He is by 15 hundredths of a second. From 14 thousandths behind to 15 hundredths ahead of Jean-Baptiste Dubourg. That is a great lap from Nico Prost. Day one winner Yann Erlacher about to start his time attack here in Serre Chevalier. Second fastest in the qualifying heats behind Nico Prost, despite carrying 60 kilos of ballast because he was the day one winner. He's the final man to take to the ice here. So how much difference is that extra weight going to make? Coming halfway around, now we get the split. This is where we get to see how close he's going to be. 0.118 behind, 11 hundredths of a second. Right now, that's roughly where Jean-Baptiste Dubourg was. So sort of just about second behind Nico Prost. What's he got at the line? He got in a little deep there, did he? Maybe the weight just flinging the car around even more. Charges to the line, first, second, third. Where's he going to be? Yann Erlacher is in third position. So 4 points go to him, 5 to Jean-Baptiste Dubourg, 6 to Nico Prost, who wins his first Super Pole of the season. And behind him, carrying ballast, Jean-Baptiste Dubourg and Yann Erlacher. The highlight, day two here in Serre Chevalier. It is the super final for the Elite Pro class with Nico Prost on pole position from Yann Erlacher. So the Renault Zoe and the Dupuis ASO1 on the front row of the grid. Row 2, Jean-Baptiste Dubourg in his Renault and Olivier Panist in the Petit Forestier ASO1. All these cars using the same drivetrain, but just with different body shapes over their space frame chassis. Andros Trophy, the Audi A1, and Quentin Giordano, another ASO1, the SLR car. Sébastien Loeb Racing running Quentin Giordano. It's their only car in the final. So Jean-Baptiste Dubourg with a chance here, if he finishes strongly, to take the lead of the series. They're just 3 races after this. So we'll have to wait and see how the rest of the season finishes up. Jan Erlichet on the right-hand side there. That's where he chose to start on pole yesterday evening. He's angled over to try and get between the Renault Zoes, or maybe just to cut off Nico Prost, the pole man. See the two turquoise noses on row 1 and row 2. Prost on row 1. And then behind him, JB Dubourg. Away we go. Good start from Jan Erlichet, where at least he shuts the door on Jean-Baptiste Dubourg. Battle for third place. Dubourg with contact from behind from Olivier Panis. Through goes Bakkerud. And there's contact there as well. Door handle to door handle. Body parts flying as Jan Erlichet holds off JB Dubourg. But Erlichet drifting out wide. JB Dubourg through into second place. Nico Prost leading. And JB Dubourg now second in the Renault. Earlier in the season, a couple of weeks ago, Prost was defending JB Dubourg. Third place is Jan Erlichet, and Dubourg second now could put him into the lead of the standings. No bonnet for Olivier Panis. That's flying off. Looks like Andros Bakkerud has already lost his. Got a lot of damage going on here. Olivier Panis with bits just about attached to his car, but there is Jan Erlichet. And yeah, Jan Erlichet's right rear wheel looks to be askew. Now the cars are supposed to steer from the rear as well. They've got four-wheel drive and four-wheel steering, but look, Jan Erlichet's car will not go in a straight line. It's basically the right rear wheel is just steering itself. So he's in third place at the moment as the Renaults race away. But Erlichet actually is doing a remarkable job here now. He's probably lucky that the track is clockwise. If it was anti-clockwise, then they're all... Would it make any difference? I don't know. I don't know. So three battered cars battling for third place. Jan Erlichet in the blue car hanging on ahead of Andros Bakkerud and Olivier Panis. And again, Erlichet unable to go straight down the straight. Doesn't really seem to care. Flings the car into the corner, looking through the side windows. Number 12, Andros Bakkerud right there. In fourth place, Olivier Panis in fifth. Bits of their cars all over the place. So that rub with JB Dubourg, I'm not sure whether that caused the damage or whether the damage was already done from an earlier contact with Jan Erlichet's car that meant he couldn't avoid contact with JB down the straight. But either way, Erlichet is doing a stunning job here of hanging on. The leaders have gone. What a disappointment for the Renault drivers. They're 1-2, there's no action where they are. It's all behind. So there are our two leaders, Nico Prost ahead of JB Dubourg, and will Dubourg try and win this? Will Nico allow him to? JB still scoring strongly for the championship. No Aurélien Panis in Super Pole or in the Super Final. JB Dubourg may well end up as the day's points winner. Whether or not he tries to overhaul his teammate with yellow mirrors, Nico Prost with the green mirrors, Jean-Baptiste Dubourg, and then everyone else in third place. At the moment, still Jan Erlichet ahead of Andros Bakkerud. That's why it looks like Bakkerud's lost his bonnet, of course, because it's that matte black Monster Energy liveried bonnet. But with a big black hole on the front of his car, the Petit Forestier car is looking a little less immaculate in the hands of Olivier Panis. Panis is still just hanging on. So third, fourth, fifth and sixth, they are all together. Quentin Giordano in that sixth place Sebastian Loeb Racing entry still hanging on. And unbelievably, Jan Erlichet, he might be 9 seconds behind, doesn't matter, he is still in third place. This is fantastic fighting stuff, and Erlichet really can't let this go. He's so close to being in title contention. With 3 more races to go, he could yet end up with the first ever overall e-Trophy Andros title. So clinging on to third here is absolutely critical. He is doing a stunning job. Andros Bakkerud right with the number 12. Right with him is Olivier Panis, the number 4 white and green car. And Quentin Giordano just hits the wall on the inside. Was he feeling left out that his car wasn't damaged? Well, Andros Bakkerud's isn't either, but Quentin Giordano clip that ice bank, and like concrete walls, ice walls tend not to move when you hit them with a movable object. Oh, Ooh, and contact from behind. Andros Trophy goes into Jan Erlacher, goes out too wide. Erlacher is going to come back into third. That's incredible stuff. Unbelievable from Jan Erlacher. What's left of Olivier Panis's car is in fourth. What's left of Kentan Giordano's is in fifth. And Andros Trophy, who made the pass for third but couldn't make it stick, now has to fight his way back past Giordano. He's back up into fifth place. Backerud in one corner went from fourth to third to sixth. And he's in the snow as well again. Checkered flag is out for the Renaults. They're still in the race. Nico Prost wins the super final here in Serre Chevalier Day 2 ahead of Jean-Baptiste Bourg. But all the news is that Jan Erlacher, 3 wheels attached to his wagon and the other one waving about rather pathetically, takes the third position at the checkered flag. Well, that's even more impressive than his day 1 victory, because then the car was all in one piece. Well, Nico Prost is our race winner. He wins his first super final in the all-electric era, ahead of teammate Jean-Baptiste Bourg, and the remarkable third place for Jan Erlacher. That is perhaps the hardest earned bronze medal that we'll see all season long. Ridiculous stuff from the Alsatian. Well, big applause from the crowd, and so it should be. Nico Prost, he'll be a popular winner. And Jean-Baptiste Bourg in second place. But Jan Erlacher, plaudits of the crowd for him especially. May well be that the fans on the outside couldn't quite see how damaged his car was. They don't have the benefit of height that our cameras have. Nico Prost then claiming victory and the day's win. 7 points ahead of Jan Erlacher. Jean-Baptiste Bourg outscoring by 4 points again Olivier Panis. And Aurélien Panis, 44 points to JB's 59. That is a big deficit for the young Frenchman. So Nico Prost, our day's winner from Jan Erlacher and Jean-Baptiste Bourg. And that means that JB has the lead in the overall classification. 3 races remain. Aurélien Panis in second, 7 points back. But coming up hard on the rails is Jan Erlacher, only 17 points adrift. It's anyone's title battle. And this could go all the way to the line. Day 2 podium in Serre Chevalier. A very happy Nico Prost takes to the top step ahead of the valiant Jan Erlacher. And Jean-Baptiste Bourg on the right-hand side there in third place is our new points leader. 3 races remain, 2 in Lens-en-Vicourt next weekend, and then to Superbest for the final to decide the title. We'll see you there for all the action.